course. Hey, these these supremacists, these Edomite so-called white supremacists, aren't even trying to hide it anymore. All right, what what they're about, they yearn, I should say, they yearn for the good old days. All right, when you're seeing all these Chud the Builder imitators come out. One just recently lost an eye because the idiot went to a paintball gathering, where they shoot paintballs at each other, and those things are dangerous. And he went in there talking that shit, and yeah, somebody put one of his eyes out. You know, hey, good. But anyway, in this video, we're going to talk about this guy that's running for office in Kentucky as a replacement for Mitch McConnell. So, they're always talking about this DEI and all this shit, and they fail to tell you that their people benefited the most from it. Again, these people are going down. Psalm 64 and 8, Proverbs 26 and 24. He that hateth disassembleth with his lips, and of course, this is what they do. They hide, and not so much anymore on that one because, again, these are avowed racists, meaning they're openly declaring it. All right, and they're not ashamed of it. And Trump and his supremacist cronies. And you want to talk about DEI? That's DEI. That cabinet, that whole cabinet. Look how they done fucked shit up. And they had to go and attempt to get the aid of a so-called black woman, and Condoleezza, that's what I call her, Condoleezza Rice. All right. Still, how did that turn out? How did that work out? So here we go. This is copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. However, nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Fair use for use. And of course, I hope I hadn't forgotten, but if I failed to mention it beforehand, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations also go out to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and byways, all right, pushing the truth across four corners of the earth, of course, aided by the many, many videos, all right, that go out to serve as edification, all right, mainly for the hopeful elect of our people, all right, plant that seed. Of course, we have no control over it after that. That's up to the Holy Spirit, all right. So here we go. Let's get this video on the go. Here we go. This is from the site Paul Lance. Andy Barr is this guy's name. Proves what MAGA politics is. All right, and for you Jakes that jumped on this bandwagon, expected anything else, fine. But we're a year and a half into this. What say you now? Hell, the first 6 months should have, but hey.
Dumb, evil indoctrination. Woke liberals spew it, corporate losers fall for it. But thanks to Trump, America is rejecting that trash.
That's
and I'm leading
God.
the fight to end it for good. I'm Andy Barr. It's not a sin to be white. It's not against the law to be male. And it shouldn't be disqualifying to be a Christian. I'm Andy Barr, and I approve this message to give woke liberals something else to cry about.
This is an actual ad for a white supremacist running to replace Mitch McConnell in the Senate.
The Turtle Man. The one that kept freezing up when he was giving a speech. Salakia. Yeah, that guy. Let me show you what he looks like. Here's another racist piece of shit. 42. Dang. 84 fucking years old. This asshole here. Yep. That's the one this guy's You just saw that advertisement. He's this guy he's trying to replace.
You know, this isn't the first time and the last time that we're going to hear this white victim mentality of don't be ashamed to be white. Tammy Faye Baker, i.e. Erica Kirk, said the same thing. Don't be afraid to be a strong white man. Who's afraid of being white? Who's not proud of being white?
You're not white,
I'm
you're
ashamed
red.
of white history. And that's what you people, like this white supremacist running for Senate, call woke. See, white history, when you actually look at American history, and you people run around with your flags and your bald eagles and your nationalism, and you say, we're the best of the best, and you say, this was founded as a great Christian nation on great Christian principles. See, when
Which
you actually
word?
look at it, like me, being a woke person, it was founded.
What were some of them good white Christian principles? Listen, hold on. I got this pulled up. I asked the question: is Christianity the bloodiest religion? All right, and it says a subject of intense debate, with many critics and some historical analysis pointing to the massive death tolls associated with Western and Christian majority powers. While theologians and defenders argue that these events were political or secular in nature rather than intrinsic to the faith. Bullshit. All right, we all, well, they're going to try to defend it, regardless. But let's see. The Crusades, European armies slaughtered both Christian and Muslim populations, often under slogans like, kill them all, God will know his own. Wars of religion, the European Reformation and Counter-Reformation eras saw massive slaughter, with some estimates suggesting 2/3 of Europe's Christian population died in these conflicts. All right. Colonialism and genocide. All right. The African slave trade, which we know that they were not Africans, claimed approximately 10 million lives, and the conquest of the Americas led to the deaths of an estimated 20 million Native Americans. That's kind of low. 20th century conflicts. In the 20th century, Western Christian powers are estimated to have caused over 200 million deaths in world wars, compared to fewer than 10 million attributed to Muslim powers. Good. Look at that. Look at the difference. 200 million compared to 10 million. Specific modern atrocities cited include the 1994 Rwandan genocide, where the population was over 90% Christian. Christians. And the 1992-95 Bosnian genocide committed by Christian Serbs. Theological and counter-arguments. Defenders of Christianity, including theologians and religious websites, argue that the label of bloody religion is a misunderstanding of the faith's core tenets. Bullshit. All right. Christianity, and that's why they always try to make, and I don't give a shit about the Muslims, let's just make that clear. But you see this you got to understand, you're dealing with people that are just, oh man, the projection amongst these so-called white people is staggering. They always want to talk about, when you bring up their bullshit and their criminal activities, they always got to bring up something else. They always got to deflect. This is what they do. See, and that's in with controlling the narrative. And that's part of what, when you got that book, if you've ever read it, I suggest you get it, The Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion. That's what's in there as saying this is what we have to do. All right? So these are the people that control what you see and hear. All right? News-wise, or information-wise in general. So what do you expect? They're always going to try to make themselves, as the scriptures say, as an angel of light. This is what they do. I just did a video not too long ago. I brought up the fact that, what was that movie? God, I forgot it already. was it Hidden Numbers, about the three Jake women that were instrumental in NASA, and how they inserted a character that didn't even exist in that. This is what they do in their movies to make them look like they're the hero, more or less. This is what they do, and that character did it played by what's his name, Kevin Costner. The character never even existed, but they put that in there with the mail, like we had to pat ourselves on the backs. These women didn't have a restroom to use. They had to go outside the facility over somewhere else. So this white man is going to stand up and say, no, this is wrong. This is what they do, man. And it's all crumbling down. Everybody sees what's going on around the world. All right?
By white people, hanging black people from trees, legalized slavery. White people tore out the fetuses from black mothers. White people kidnapped black people. And when they died on the ship coming over here for up to 6 months through the travel, white people treated them with such disrespect that they threw their bodies in the ocean. So much, as a matter of fact, that bull sharks would actually follow the slave ships. That's actual American history. Founded where, hey, you're black, you're only worth 3/5 of a white man. You're black, you're not a citizen because you're not white. But what is driving this victim mentality? It's called racial resentment. It's by beliefs that Trump's voters are the unique and foremost victims of the machinations of America's political and economic systems. For example, in the aftermath of Trump's 2016 election, scholars at the University of Chicago used survey data to argue that white vulnerability, the fear of loss of status relative to other racial groups through no fault of own, motivated the white millennials in Trump's base to cast their ballot for him. Among other things, people who scored higher on the pollsters' measures of white vulnerability were more likely to believe that racism against white people is as a problem as it is for black people. Just think about that. Trump's base is so stupid, so saturated with white victimhood, they literally think that America is being racist against white people just as much, if not more, that America has been racist against black people. And that's what this video is. They are petrified of a white minority. They see it on the horizon like a sunrise. They see the mountains about 100 miles away. And they know that it's coming. And it scares the hell out of them. Look at what they're doing, right? Dr. Oz is talking about the birth rates. It should be 2.1 children, it's at 1.5. Make more white babies. Come on. We got to keep up with it. Deport the brown people. And say, we just want people here legally. That'll help the population, but at the same time, you vote for a white man that's a rapist and a convicted felon. That's okay because he's white. He gets a free pass. Oh, look at the black district.
That's what they did.
Let's overturn the Voting Rights Act, the one thing that made it equitable for black people to have representation in this country. Nope. Let's take that away and let's make all those white districts run by the white man. That's what this is. That's all this is. What did he say in his video? In fact, what did he not say? Anything about affordability? Housing? Buying a house before you're 40? Anything about gun violence? The number one cause of death of children is gun violence in the greatest Christian pro-life nation in the world. Nothing. Nothing about universal health care. Nothing about raising minimum wage. or retiring early. Nothing. He ran on victimhood. Be the victim. Culture wars. DEI, CRT, Antifa, Radical Left, Libtards, Green M&Ms, Dr. Seuss. Everybody in the world is against you because you need to be the victim. That's why things don't get done in this country. And this is just selfishness wrapped as patriotism. It's selfishness. Oh, it's personal liberty. No, it's selfishness because you don't give a damn about the betterment of the country. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to elect this white supremacist, white hood and all, because they don't care. They want to own the libs. And he's going to do nothing to make Kentucky better. He's going to get into culture wars. He's going to give tax breaks to rich people. And the midterms are going to come around. And the general election. And you know what's going to happen? Oh, let's blame the transgender athletes this time. Ooh, let's blame the immigrants. Ooh, let's blame the Somalians this time. Who can we blame? Everybody except the person that we put in power to own the libs. When they own the libs, that tells you they don't give a damn about this country. They're not even voting for themselves. They're not voting for their neighbors. They're not voting for their state. They're voting against a group of people who has a different ideology. You know, those radical left people that want universal health care and a living wage. They don't want their children doing active shooter drills in schools, you know, crazy shit like that. Just off the cuff, radical policies. I don't want the ice caps to melt so we flood the entire world, you know, really radical shit like that. Oh my God, oh, he's so woke. While you people run around saying, hey, what are your pronouns? Hey, what's a man? What's a woman? Do you want a boy going in a girl's bathroom? I don't want Donald Trump going into the bathroom. I don't want Donald Trump going into a locker room or a dressing room if I had a daughter, because he'd probably rape her. That's what I'm worried about, not a transgender athlete. But you're stuck in these bullshit culture wars. That's why nothing gets done in this country, because you're not serious people. You're like little children, and Donald Trump gives you somebody to blame.
Wait till they realize that all that was planned. These people work together. It doesn't matter what party you're in. All right? These elites are playing you. You were so focused on this, and you know, I'm not saying it's wrong, rightfully so, but a lot of you didn't understand the game that was being played. Nobody definitely wants to see that shit. You know, people who aren't don't know if they're male or female, and more importantly, they're having these people teach your very young children in the classroom. Of course not. All right, but you again got so caught up in that you fail to see the bigger picture, and now you're you're seeing it. It's well too late, but yeah, and of course. Here we are, we're going to blame Jake. That's what they're doing now. We got to, you know, these people all going in the stores, chimping out, as they like to say. All this is Jake. No, it's not. It's not Jake's fault. But you're going to have some ignorance of these MAGAs, or maggots as I call them. They're going to believe that. And they still don't fail to realize what LBJ did or said some 60 years ago. And they're still playing that game with you. But we're in a time now, you know, it doesn't even fucking matter. All right? These curses that were on us are being put on you now. Deuteronomy 30:7. All right? But again, they're so quick to just, let me get this real quick. Let's see. Gotta go back here. Hold on. All right, let's see. Because they are so quick to get at Jake. This is Psalms. We're seeing this is the time of graduation with Jake. And if you go to certain sites, you can just see the comments, just the hate. Jake just, you know, what does it say? Black excellence. They can't stand it. This is Psalms 62:4. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. And that matches up with Proverbs 26:24 about He that hateth dissembleth with his lips. This is, yeah, this is what, I mean, why would you want to, wow. It's the time that we're in. Hey, get yourself together, repent. You got to start with that. And keep sending up curses on this fucking place. All right? These people have proven century after century that there's no goodwill in them whatsoever. They are indeed the wicked. And again, everybody's seeing this now. All right?
And you vote for idiots like this and Mitch McConnell, who just care about winning a fight. And it always comes back to this, white people. How many of you are going to finally say something like I'm doing? Because that's the problem. There's just one of me. I can only do so much.
It's too late.
How many of you have not talked to your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, your uncles, your aunts because you're worried about it being weird? You're the only people in your circle that can have those conversations. I can't. Nobody else can because they trust you and they listen to you. But you won't do it because you don't want to be uncomfortable. Your silence is complicity. Evil succeeds when good people do nothing. MAGA succeeds when white people sit silently. Because that's what happened with George Floyd. Metaphorically, there was 3 cops that could have done anything and they didn't do it because they didn't want to break the thin blue line of silence. Ooh, I don't want people to make fun of me. Ooh, I don't want to be on a call and they ignore me. You could have saved his life and you didn't. Now, this country is either going to progress past white supremacy or we're going to fail. There is no going back to where we were. That ship is gone. That port is destroyed. It's gone. We're either going to progress as a society and defeat white supremacy, or white people are going to sit by in their privilege and let the entire democracy burn to the ground, because that's exactly what's happening. Clowns like this and the Grand Wizard in the White House, they're going to burn this country to the ground to own the libs. And these idiots in Kentucky, in Louisiana, in Mississippi with 6 teeth that marry their sisters and inbreed, I own the libs, and they're losing their farms. Because you're too stupid to listen to policies that the black woman, because you just couldn't stomach it, right?
What was that? Somebody said some years ago, it said the slogan, it had the states in their slogans. It say Virginia is for lovers and Maryland, the free state, something like, and they said West Virginia say it's all relative.
You just couldn't stomach it. The black man in the White House triggered part of this country. When you hear traditional family values from that white nationalist Mike Johnson, you know what it means? White. A white kid sitting next to a white cop in a white ice cream shop being served by a white police officer. That is what MAGA wants. 1776 with 4 billion trillion guns. They don't care if you die from gun violence. They don't care if you starve to death. They don't care if you're homeless. They don't care if you can afford a house. They just want guns because freedom. They don't care if you have the freedom to afford a cost of living, because they keep giving money to rich people. I'm telling you, white people, this is going to be your fault. And too many of you celebrated that 8 million people went out to the No Kings protest out of 340 million. And I don't care if you like it, that was a white participation trophy. Half the damn country should have been out there. Every damn white person should have been out there. I don't want to hear crap about, I got baseball games, I got to walk. Oh, it's not going to do anything. Then you're complicit. You are. It's going to burn to the ground, and at some point, your silence is going to come back to bite you in the ass. And don't say, I didn't vote for this. You may not have voted for it, but your silence allowed it. With great power comes great responsibility, said Ben Parker, the uncle of Peter Parker. Whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not, I have white privilege. Are you going to use it, or are you not? And for people that keep saying, well, I'm poor, I don't have privilege. Oh, let me explain it to you for the people in the back that still have their white hoods on that can't hear me. I'm sorry, are you called the N-word? Do people cross the street at night when you walk? Do you get turned down for jobs? Do you get paid less because you're black? Do you have to give the talk to your kids? You probably don't know what it is. It's when white cops pull black kids over at night. Just because they're black, suspicious. Oh, yeah, you were speeding. Wink, wink. Oh, yeah, let me see all your documentation. Can you come out? Can you do a sobriety test? Wink, wink. Hey, nothing to see here. Were your grandparents in somebody's will as a piece of property? Were your great grandparents hanging from a tree? Has your house been redlined? Has your house been appraised at a different price? No? Did you ever have to pay money to vote? That's privilege. Is not having the privilege to go through that shit. It has nothing to do with how much money you make. It's how you're treated.
And there you go. Speaks for itself. But again, they'll never admit it. You can explain it until, you're blue in the face, as they say. It's cognitive dissonance. All right, this is, again, something that they do. But what's these curses being put on them, there's nothing they can do about it. They can be in denial all they want. This is what's happening. All right, and as it says in, let's get that again. Hold on. In the book of Micah, 2nd chapter, let's get it. All right, because they're so used to just getting out of shit, and they don't even understand the real reason why that's happening. This says, "Woe to the oppressors." I'll just read on through 3. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds." All right. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Exactly. They have this power. All right. It's far beyond what Jake has on this earth. All right. We're under the curses, remember? 2, and they covet fields and take them by violence. Again, I read you this thing with the Christianity being the bloodiest religion when they went into colonialism. All right. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. And so they did with us. All right. You got a people over there in the Holy Land now pretending to be us. The largest case of identity theft the world has ever seen or known. And that is also coming to an end. That's why they got to hurry up and establish this digital system to lock people in. All right. It says, therefore, verse 3, therefore, thus saith the Most High, whose name is Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks. Meaning you're not going to get out of this. Neither shall ye go haughtily or proudly, for this time is evil to you. This is all coming back on you Edomites. Lamentations 4, the last 2 verses. It's your turn to drink that cup. What is that cup? Slavery. Death. A low estate. All of that. It's your turn. All right, so that's going to be it. Once again, this has been the Paul Lance video site. Andy Barr proves what MAGA politics is. White grievance. Grievance over what? This is a system that was designed by your people, for your people. And you're mad because you had this huge head start. And it's been proven that even with that, you're just sorry, worthless pieces of shit. And you're mad because you're seeing Jake still, you can't accept, why are these niggers still happy? What's wrong? Oh well. It's beautiful to see. You know, the more you get frustrated, the happier I am. That's just what it is. So with that, once again, I hope whoever views this is edified, has been edified. That's what we do here at Great Millstone. Everything's filtered through the scriptures, as it should be. Because time is growing short. You need to know that. All right. So with that, once again, I hope you remain circumspect out here. Keep those eyes and ears open, especially now we're coming up to that July the 4th. And it's coinciding with this situation over there in the Strait of Hormuz, everything that's oil related. All right, you're going to see the consequences of that. You're going to feel it more than anything, because AutoZone is closing 700 stores, and they have announced that they're running very low on motor oil. So yeah, yes. So with that, hey, until the next video, hey, shalom.